Hello guys and welcome back to MonLabo. So today we're going to be talking about creating our custom Helm chart. Okay, so for that process, let's get started really quick. Alright, so I want to create a Helm chart, and then from that Helm chart I'm going to delete some files and start editing from scratch so that you see how to create a custom Helm chart yourself and understand some of the basics stuff that are within it. So here I'm going to open my terminal, and as you can see I already have a command ready for us to type. So I'm inside this folder which is here as you can see, and then I will hit create MonLabo Linux, for example. So once I do that, alright, you will see that it has created a directory here, and from inside the directory I have something like this where we have nginx as the repository and many other stuff. Okay, so we're gonna see how to write our own, but as you can see we have quite a lot of stuff that are inside there. All right, and if we continue, we have the chart itself here. All right, that is based on nginx application. Then we have the ham ignore, we have the template. Okay, then we have the testers folder, which has a single container, single pod test. Okay, and then just to see if your chart is working fine, that's the thing. And then we have other things. For example, the helpers, where you will see uh, maybe something like full name, for example. All right, so where you can define and call it within here or somewhere else. Then you have deployment, for example, you have a structure that looks like this. All right, that looks like this, and yeah, a lot of stuff, really intimidating, right? And then we're gonna have other things for the node here. All right, but for example, for the node that you see, all right, so the node, for example, the node is used to output whatever happens after the chart the chart has been, I mean, the manifest file of the chart has have been sent to the Kubernetes cluster. Okay, so it will output some stuff. So it means that we can leverage that, for example, to get stuff like, for example, if we want to get a release name, if we want to get some other stuff. Okay, like for example, from the top element of the Helm chart. So what I will advise you first is to come here, over here, and try to install Helm IntelliSense, okay, so that it will be able to help you do a lot of stuff. For example, something like this one, okay, or maybe something else. Yeah, this is the one here, IntelliSense. So then, yeah. So once you have that, you are ready to go. All right. So for example, if I was to check something here, let's say I was to delete this whole thing, then here I do something like this, and then here I come over here and say, for example, please name space, for example. Okay, and that I come like this and go inside that folder. So that's the folder, and then from here we're gonna ask Helm template to do something for us. Okay, or we can do a try install, or we can do Helm install. Okay, and then we have to give a release name. Okay, so I can say, for example, my first, and just leave it like that, and then I will put something like this. So oops, it has installed it right. So but as you can see here, this is the release namespace for that we wrote from inside here. So it means that we can use this file to get a lot of stuff, okay, that we can test and then put that into our value. So 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 let's get started, sure, shall we? So let me uninstall whatever I push to the cluster. Okay, so you can check that with Helm list, for example, and you should see that it has something like this. All right. So what we want to do is to uninstall that and start customizing our own. Okay, our own chart. So I will just come here and say uninstall, then it's going to uninstall it. Okay, so how do I know that? If you do this, nothing nothing there. I don't really like this thing that Visual Studio Code is doing, because it's kind of really boring. It's kind of really boring. They push this update where you type a command, it goes and get mixed with previous stuff, and you don't see the output. So if you guys are working from there, please make sure that you revert that kind of stuff. For me, it doesn't work at all. I don't really support that. So um, now let's come here, for example, into the Helm. Let's delete some folders first, some files. Okay, I won't need this one. I won't need, yeah, let's delete that one first. Okay, I won't need this from my side. If you need it, you can keep it, but for me, I don't really like it for now. I won't need this one for now. Okay, another day we will see how to view those, but for now I don't need those. I don't need this one, I don't need this one, I don't need this one, I don't need this one. So I'm gonna delete all of them for now. In fact, I don't need anything. And then here, oops. So and then here I'm gonna delete the whole content. Okay, as you can see, I highlighted everything and I deleted it. So we have what we call a bare bone, except for the YAML file. That if you want, we can explain better. We can have better explanation about this one. But now, as you can see, I have a bare bone chart that is ready for me to customize my stuff. The template is just where I can put my Kubernetes manifest file. So as an example, I'm going to go ahead online and search for a Kubernetes manifest file. And as you can see here, for example, I just type deployment.yaml. You can type Kubernetes deployment, for example, and then you will have this link. And then when you come here and come over here, you will have this one here available for you to copy. Alright, so I will copy that and go back to my Visual Studio Code, and here I will create a deployment folder. Okay, this is where I can place my manifest. So we say deployment dot yml and hit enter. Now I can come here and paste that. Right, nice. So I paste it. It's nice. It looks like a Kubernetes thing, right? I mean, it's Kubernetes thing, and Helm completely understands it, like as you can see. Okay, but what we want to do is we want to be able to replace pretty much everything that we see over there for um, for our custom deployment. So, for example, here I can see that if I do Helm template, okay. So if I was to do, okay, we can leave this one for example. So if I was to do Helm template, and then I just give it a name and I type enter. Okay, you will see that it will return me whatever I have there from inside MonLabo Linux, as you can see. Then template, this one, and deployment of YAML, which is this one. Okay, and you cannot see anything else, which is great. So now what we want to do is to tell Helm that, hey, we need that content to be customized for what we need, okay, for what we want. So let's go ahead and start with that. So here For example, I have metadata section. All right. So what I will do is to, for example, copy this. Okay. And if I copy that, I come to the values. The value is just that for that file that you can pass data inside, data in a YAML format that will go ahead and uh, and fill up the template that you will put here. Okay, so here you can, for example, say um, custom custom metadata. Okay, custom dash metadata. All right, so you put something like this. Now we know that in the metadata of Kubernetes is not only name, labels, and other stuff. Okay, we have annotations, we have the namespace, and many other stuff. Okay, so by the way, I'm gonna go ahead and also put name space. Okay, then so then this will help us to customize in different environments, whether it's in production or whatever, customize our namespace and put whatever we want there. Okay, so for now we will leave it to default. And here I have label. Okay, the label I can, for example, put nginx and then put user id, for example, user id. I can put something like this. Let's accept whatever this guy is trying to provide us here. All right, version, uh, and then yeah, something, for example, like manage, manage by. Okay, and then we can have something like this, but for now let's leave that one alone. All right, so we just want to test if everything is working. So here now that I have this custom dash metadata. Okay, if I want I can also call it like this, custom metadata. Now from that custom metadata I can come here, okay, and tell him that hey, I have something interesting on the other side that I want you to connect to. And then here I will say values, and I think this guy is already helping me. So here you put the, it's a bit like the Jinja templating, but it's related to Helm here. So we have this, and then we put dot. Okay, dot is a way to retrieve the top. Is a way to call the top level of element, okay, of object on in Helm. So here we are indexing the values file, so it goes with values. It's not always like okay, those names are related to a file, but you can take it as is for now. Okay, so here I will say okay, capital V. All right, values, I can type enter, dot custom metadata, I type enter, and then dot name. All right, name. So why dot name is because I have it. So I'm gonna grab that here and put it as this, and then I'm gonna have just that. Okay, so we are going like this. So we are saying that okay, go to the values. So this means to the top, to the root of the Helm chart. Okay, at the root of the Helm chart there is a values object, and then from that values object go inside, okay, which corresponds to maybe a file. Okay, values, it can be a custom values file that you can use, but here in this case we are putting it like this, and then custom.metadata, which is the top object within this file, and then dot name. So we are just taking this element. Now we have this, okay, but we Helm, it is really common to have a space here, okay, before and after the templating uh, flower bracket. Now here here I cannot come here, I don't want to come here and put each and every element. So for example, I can come like this, all right, and say m.value.custom element.label, and then put one after another. For example, let me show you what I mean. So I can come like this, all right, and do this. And then instead of doing like that, I will copy this, for example, and put it like this, right? So I will do like this, and then label.app, labels.app, and then I will do the same for the other ones. Okay, so I will do the same. So for example, I can do the same for this, and then here I'll do the same. So as this folder structure is no longer of interest for now, I will just close that. All right, so I can do like this, and then here I will just replace that by user ID, for example. So I can say user ID, and then group ID. Yeah, so it's a group ID, okay, and then version, and then version. So here, so far, this is what we have, and now there is no really how, okay, with this. So now if you go here with your Helm templating engine, and then you say Helm template, you will see that it renders everything as expected. Then we also have the nginx dash deployment, okay. So we have that, which is nice. But the thing is that this is not really efficient if you have maybe 10, 20, or maybe, I don't know, there are some companies that might have a lot of labels, okay, that they want to use. And also they want to share that between those different manifest files, okay. You know how Kubernetes is. But if you start putting each and every line like that, it's not good at all. So let's go and see the best practice for that. So let's close this, okay. And here we want to do something. We have different ways we can do this, okay. We can immediately use the YAML, we can use the weight, but we can use range. But for now, what I want to do is just to use YAML, okay. So here, all right, I'm going to delete everything, okay. So I'm going to delete everything, and then I will put something like this, all right. So I can put dash there, and say the dash with a the flower bracket with dash means that if there is any trailing space, okay, that do not respect the indentation, please remove it. All right, so now here we're gonna put that to YAML. I think this thing, that's why I don't really like it sometimes. It's really helpful, but you can see that it's taking a lot of, yeah, I mean, it's doing pretty much everything for me. So we say to YAML, which is a function, okay, on Helm. So you can go online, you type to YAML function, Helm to YAML function, and you will see how to use it. So basically, you will come here and put everything in a YAML format, okay, with. So here you can see that it goes to custom meta data, okay, and then labels, okay, because this one they are siblings element, okay, and so it skips everything and goes to this one because this is the one that we are indexing. And then we want to drop that with new line, but what happens if we don't put new line? So let's delete that for a minute, okay. Let's delete that. So if we put that like this and we try to do this, so we will have, oops, not mean to, come on, man. So we will have Helm template, and then if we hit enter, so you should see that we have something not really quite okay, okay. So the Helm template is just rendering whatever will happen, but we know that label, and you can see here we have label, okay, and then we have app here immediately, which is not good. So we have that, we have the other stuff. So it's not really indented well, and some of them are kind of aligned with the top element of their of their belonging, of where they belong to, okay, which is not quite good. So we don't need that. So because if you were to do Helm linked, no, I think you need okay. So if you were to say Helm linked, okay, for example, and you type enter, so it says that one chart and zero fail. Okay, zero fail. Let's see if that's the case. So let's now try to do Helm install. Then we will simulate the installation. Okay, so we will call that my first, and then we say dash dash dry dash run. So now when you type it, okay, it seems that it will go, right? That's what he's saying, that it will go, but let's see if he can create something that looks like this. So let's go ahead and remove the dash dash dry run. So if we do this, okay, looks like you can see something here, right? But it says that he doesn't know that, so he completely ignored those and went ahead with the other one. Okay, so now if you were to do something like um, cube ctl, oops, pod, okay, looks like kubectl is not found, not sure how. Let's see if we can get kubectl from the market here. Okay, no problem. So we do minikube kubectl get part. Okay, so we use that way, and then we can see that we have three here that are running. So we take that and say that we want to not get, but so we don't want to get, but we want to, I mean, describe. Okay, oops, sorry, describe part with this name. So as we can see here, yeah, the part label, that was only one that has been taken, and it's not really properly aligned. So how do we fix that problem? How do we fix that? So to fix that, you just come here. Okay, you have to put new line indent. So you put new line indent. So we have indent. Okay, indent will indent just from the first line, and then it's okay. It will indent all I mean the first element, and then it'll be okay. But the anyway, let's just see what happened. Okay, let's remove that uninstall. Just do uninstall. Okay, so now that we have something like this, so we can go ahead with uh, seeing what happened when we have that one. So if we were to do template, okay, so you will see that we have an error where it says that mapping value are not allowed in this context. So, and if you want to see what's really going on, that's why I said don't like this thing from these people. So you can say dash dash debug, okay, to see what's really going on. And then here you will see that we have something like this. Okay, so this is the one where it says that mapping value are not allowed here, because the other ones went normally, but this one was not indented properly, so that's why it's complaining. So now here you will come and say new line indent, but probably there are some of you that are asking what is this. Okay, so when we say new line indent 4, So it means that, so probably we can even put that here if I'm not mistaken. But what it means is that on this line, okay, to get to label, how many spaces do we have? One, two, three, okay. And then normally we have to indent to four, okay. So that's why we put four underneath this one, because if we go to the next line and drop all those elements, so uh, so that's what will happen. Now if you come like this and you do the template, you will see that now it is properly aligned. Okay, so here we are properly fixed that one. All right, but something nice just happened and you might be like, what is that? Now this, we can use that anywhere we want. Okay, for example, in the template metadata label, you see that we have something similar with also match label. So it means that I can come to this, okay, copy that, and then put that maybe something like this. But here now the indentation will change. Okay, so you can leave that here, for example. You can leave that here like this, but the indentation will now change. Okay, it's not going to be 4 anymore, because from here, all right, when you go down, you press shift, you move with your the right arrow key. 1 2 3 4 5 6. Okay, so it means that we need to indent 6 times, so we put 6 there. Okay, what about the other one down here? Is it also 6? We don't know, so we're gonna discover that. So if you put that there, you also come here and you say 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Oh, okay, it's 8, so let's put 8 here. All right, so now we will go ahead and try to see what we got. Because if you remember, when we did the Helm template, we saw that label was only here, okay, and then the remaining one was just up and up here. And now if we do it again, let's remove that debug, don't need it anymore for now. You should see that we have that everywhere now. Okay, so it means that we just constructed a reusable component that can be passed everywhere as we like. All right, so on the next video I will go ahead and show you the remaining thing, so stick around.